Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, Liz. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi, everybody.
Does anyone remember when the massive masters meeting is? Where Maria interviews people
It's Thursday. It's just this Thursday.
Thursday? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's Thursday at noon. I know Rimshaws is working on getting the schedule or you guys' schedules updated for it.
Yeah, I don't see it on my calendar, Mike.
She's working on it. That's
Okay.
I just got off a call with her.
Got it.
Um, all right, wow. Full house today. Nice to see. So let's I'd like to do a little bit of a check-in because I haven't seen a lot of people for a long time. Okay, Chirayu, gotcha. You'll be on mute. And so let's Blake, I'd like to get an update on you. Like where you at? What's going on? What's your progress and process? I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, I suppose I've just been focusing on LinkedIn mostly. I post probably about twice a day on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So once in the morning, once in the afternoon. And then also been posting in groups. So just building up people and discussions through LinkedIn at the moment.
Excellent. What kind of have you been able to schedule some calls and meetings through that?
I haven't because I've been busy for the last month, but now there's nothing that holds me back. So I've just been sort of getting people and saying, oh, I could have a bit of deal flow this year. Do you mind if I keep you in the loop? And they just say yes. And I'll just grab their email and put it in my CRM sort of thing. That's as far as I've gone, but I'll probably circle back and have another chat with them and see if I can jump on a call with them and go from there.
Okay, great. I'd like to get some feedback from some people. I'd like to know if anyone else, who else here has used LinkedIn as their primary source. I know a few other people that have, but who here has used LinkedIn as their primary source of leads for investors? If anyone.
Well, I just signed up for a premium account for LinkedIn like 3 weeks ago, and I start to send some, connection links and everybody. Well, first the people that I know, and that circle is kind of getting larger. And as soon as I put this website together, which I'm working on it, and then I'm gonna attach to that too, and then start to doing like more, connecting efforts and more professionally, basically. Because when you're talking about I'm doing this and that, and then your social media stuff, especially website and all that stuff, has to support that. But it's just a matter of days that I'm gonna put together. And the growth con is coming in 24 in Miami. Well, I'm gonna go there and try to to meet the people and all that stuff. And that's where I am at on that right now.
Okay, that's cool. Has anyone else? That's awesome. Thanks, Selchuk. Good luck. Good great building that up, and so I wanted, and it probably this will apply to most others as well. On the road, oh, Candace on the road again. Okay, so one of the things I would, and I look for others to maybe just provide some thoughts and input here, but so Blake, I think your CRM, where do you stand with your CRM? Is it up, running, completed, operational, fully going?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not through Go High Level. I have mine through Active Campaign, but yeah, I have everything there set up. Yeah, I pretty much
Okay.
starting the newsletter this month, yeah, or next month, the next week sort of thing. But yeah, outside of that, I have all as soon as someone first comes into the funnel and those sort of email campaigns from there, they're all set up, and yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what more I should probably add to it. I suppose I might have to jump on the Friday calls and see what else everybody else is doing.
Yeah, so your active campaign funnels, those are links to bring you've got some funnels within active campaign, which are links that you post it, so you can post it in LinkedIn, and then that brings people into your active
CRM.
campaign, correct?
Yep.
Into your CRM.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What are your funnels that you've created so far?
Just an ebook. Pretty much just yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. An ebook giveaway.
Yeah. But I suppose the next one that I want to do is probably like an evergreen sort of webinar that I can use to get people in. I just don't know what the topic will have to be, but that's probably the next one that I'll try and do. I think yeah.
Perfect.
The
Okay.
more that I can have, the better.
Awesome. So actually what I'm going to share today actually it relates to the book and some other things. And I know some people here have done books or been part of books, so that'll relate. I'm going to go through some more of the 25 capital raising strategies and then talk about those. And one of the things though, just as you're doing everyone, like you're doing your LinkedIn, like be as personal as you can in the messaging, right? So keep on top of your messages and following up with people, share if you've created I don't know if Active Campaign has it or if you have to do it in Calendly outside. But I know within our CRM, we have a calendar created within the CRM that we share. And then again, once people come into that calendar, that goes straight into the CRM, the data. But also then sharing like, hey, I'd love if once people have connected with you and had a little conversation, getting them your calendar to book a meeting and a follow-up or a session to talk about what's their strategies or their financial plans, or whatever they want to you want to use as your piece to what is your investing strategies or so forth. So that's really where you should be going and bringing them into your funnel more. Okay, so
Yeah, I definitely need to fine tune that, and I mean it comes with practice, but definitely getting on calls with investors and just sort of seeing where the conversation goes. And I suppose after a few, you sort of know what people are going to ask, and you'll probably have a list of 6 or 10 different things that they continue to ask you that you just know the answers to. But yeah, until you have those conversations, you don't really know what to expect.
yeah, just start doing. The one thing that we do, a lot of us all do, is we collect, but we don't talk. We don't reach out. We don't talk to them. This is for everybody. including us at Massive Capital, you know, as we have a lot of leads. We worked a lot on getting leads, but we didn't, we missed out. So there's a lot of dead leads out there, a lot of, you know, things that we didn't follow up on. And, you know, don't just collect your leads, you know, you got to be connecting with them, not just collecting them. So I'm going to jump in and go through and play a little bit here. Let me know if you hear the sound okay. I'm going to play a couple pieces and then we'll stop and talk about them together as a group.
The hospital, they get referrals between physicians, and they do very well. So I definitely encourage you.
We listened to part of this last week. I didn't want to. There we go.
Strategy number 11 is to write a book. Obviously, you know, if you follow our emails, I'm a big fan of this strategy. I've written 11 or 12 books now, including 2 on the family office industry, 2 on the hedge fund industry, and my latest book is called The Single Family Office. And it's important for me to talk about this for a minute, more than just writing a book, what I've learned by writing so many books. So one thing I've learned is that all of the best writers in history have a goal of writing just 500 to 1,500 words a day. They try to write in a rhythm. So whether it's daily or weekdays or 3 days a week, the whole trick is just to get into a rhythm of producing content, and it'll be very easy to put out a book. If you just write, you know, 2-3 paragraphs a day, you'll easily have a book done in a year. And many people want to write a book but never get to it. It's just little bites at a time to make it happen. Other lessons I've learned is that the more powerful you make the book, the more business you'll generate from it. I don't make much money at all. I actually lose a little bit of money from writing books because I'm always sending them out to clients and giving them away for free. It's basically an oversized business card that people are less likely to throw away. And what I found is that it generates business through consulting relationships. You know, some people come to our conferences because they read the book and they loved it. Other people, you know, come visit a webinar like this, for example, or buy our family office database. And so we put as many videos, interviews, templates, pieces of value in the book as possible. So in this single family office book, we've got 30 different audio interviews with single family offices, and the transcripts are in there. The names of the single family offices are in there. We also have over 40 videos in there that are free as well. So you're basically getting a, you know, several $100 training program on single family offices for free. It's not just a book. But we found that's the best way to go because it has a real impact on people. If you just do a mediocre job, it's going to have a mediocre impact at best. So we wanted to make it kind of a purple cow in terms of the level of resources inside the book. So I would encourage you to use this strategy with investor segmenting and with organizing your niche or investor set. So you could write that book on, you know, your niche of, you know, private equity in Singapore, for example, if that's what you're raising capital for, or hotel real estate development, hospitality real estate investments, or your investor niche, you know, family offices in Seattle. Might be a little bit challenging to write a book on that. You could definitely write a white paper, and you could, you know, study family offices on the West Coast or some other, you know, niche investor set, such as physician investing or, you know, anesthesiologist, you know, investment practices or what they're typically investing in and why and what their risk preferences are, etc. Strategy number 12 is to operate in your space. There is a picture of a large natural gas plant here on the slide if you're following along in the PowerPoint. And the reason I put this is that I'm in the process of, we just got equity in a 33-year-old oil and gas business, and we're looking to grow one part of that business. And we're not, you know, raising capital for anything right now, so anything I say is not a solicitation. Just an example of a capital raising strategy is we're going to use one strategy of acquiring an asset that'll make us not just a oil and gas investment group, but actually an operator in the industry on a service level. And by operating in the space, we're actually going to get superior deal flow and better understanding, grow relationships further. Plus, we could do follow-on investments to that service. So another example of this would be in the private equity space. Again, if you partnered with that big brother and you had that research component that had an equity stake in your business, that would allow you to kind of operate in your space more broadly. If you are a hedge fund, again, it could be a research component. It could be if you're a global macro manager, could be something related to leading indicators and global macro research. And if you're the one collecting that data, you're going to have it before your competitors do, before it's released in any reports. And it'll be more attuned to what's going on a base level for your global macro investment theses. So this is important, but sometimes it's hard to figure out for your niche. If you're on this webinar and you want some quick feedback on this strategy or any of the other ones, just please shoot us an email at team@familyoffices.com and just put in the subject line, webinar feedback or webinar question. If you don't get a chance to answer it here, happy to apply this to your capital raising strategy.
Okay. So to get some feedback and thoughts on those two strategies, and either you've applied them, and I know some of the people in here have applied some of these two strategies already, and would like to get your feedback, your thoughts on these. I know both of them are pieces that we've done a bit of each within Massive Capital. And it's kind of interesting on the second one. I think of that as in your space is two ways of looking at. One is in your space that you are investing and or operating, and the second one is in your space that you are connecting with people to raise capital from, and kind of your avatars and stuff like that. So, and then the book piece, I think everybody's got and working on different books, but there's also ways to do the books that are different. I know some people in here have done the book and different ways. If you guys would share about that, I'd love to hear it. I think it'd be great for some of the others in here to hear it. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll comment and a question, Mike. First of all, I joined late, but is your birthday today?
Yeah.
What? Yeah.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's yeah, we're gonna have a big party in 4 years, we're gonna have a big party for my 30th. So you guys all invited.
That sounds good. So still 26 for now.
Yeah.
So I used to run a self-publishing business before, I would say for about 3 to 4 years. And there are a lot of ways how to publish a book online, which of course involve a little bit of critical thinking, and but there are a lot of things that can be subcontracted, even in terms of content. So I was wondering, the book thing, is something that is in the back of my mind, but I would need to either partner up with somebody from a knowledge perspective, or subcontract part of the work, and I don't know, Mike, do you think could be my question is, how much should be your ideas, etc., in the book versus some common knowledge, common ideas that they can be found on the web, so.
Yeah, I believe so you will get the return on this really kind of, you think of this as return on effort, return on the investment, right? The return on effort is, you definitely, if you go and you look at some of the books out there, and like the people that you can tell have written their own, and the value that comes back from that. So like, if I think, some of the ones out there, Richard's books is one, Hunter Thompson's Rodcliffe, some of those, Cardone's books, so that initially, right, they were, a few that are from, they may have just they may have either handwritten them, or they just sat down and they dictated it, and somebody else wrote it, right? I don't know what their process was exactly, but you can tell they're from a, you know, they come from a personal standpoint. They integrate a lot of their product into their book. So, you know, Hunter integrates like his capital raising platforms and stuff. He integrates his other products into his book, same as Grant, same as Rod. So just, you know, there's that return on effort piece of it. But again, with today's technology level, you can, there's, you know, I've been playing around, and I see Shariah join, he'll love to share, I'm sure, but you know, you can, you know, put a lot of your data now into some of the AI pieces, and it'll help generate the book like directionally of, you know, adapting it to your story somewhat. And but it's still, you know, it may or may not be as, you know, much ownership you feel into that, right? So one of the things about, you know, is when I'm selling something, and you're not trying to sell the book, but you're using the book as a piece of what you are in your ownership, right? And what you're selling is yourself as well. And it's the comfort you have, the belief you have that this represents me. And when I go out there and I push it out and I get, you know, comfortable with people reading it, and they're talking about me in the process of that, then that's, you know, important. And whether that's like, oh, this is crap or this is great. And I've read some books that some people done, I didn't like get much out of them. So anyway, I mean, there's two different paths everybody can take, and there's like even the kind of the hybrid of those two, which is write a bit and do some, or get it, you know, get something written and then go and edit it with your own inputs as some way that we've looked at doing things.
Yeah, no, I think you absolutely. It all started from the initial concept, right? You know, you want to have a book that is written, the journey of Michael Bailey into real estate. Okay, so maybe 75-80% has to be the story of Michael Bailey in real estate. If the book is maybe has a concept which is a little bit different, there could be, I don't know, basic concept of real estate, dictated, I don't know, shared by an Italian immigrant in Texas. Okay, maybe that's kind of a concept that you can do a 50-50, like, right? Share your experience, but at the same time provide some general knowledge about real estate concept, like what is multifamily, what is a cap rate, what, you know. So I think you're right, you know, it's all started of what's the idea that you want to have in order to write the book, you know, what's the concept.
And I think the more important piece is don't get stuck. Like if going out and online and getting somebody to help you do it gets you through it, do that for your first thing or what you can to get started and get something moving and done, right? Because the biggest thing is we all get stuck and we just don't make progress on things because we think it's too difficult. We want to make it perfect. Like Richard was talking, you know, it's right, you know, a few hundred words a day if you really want to produce the book truly yourself. There's a lot of different ways to go about it, or just jump into ChatGPT or go to Fiverr and find somebody that's a ghostwriter and work on getting the book written that way. You know, there's different aspects. And then I know like Magana and some of the ladies have done a few different books where they are one of the chapters within the book. And so they have the book to call their own. Liz, you got one as too, right? You want to talk about that in the process?
Sure, about where we have a chapter in the book.
Yeah, and how you guys, how that came about, and where other people maybe want to use that as a way to look at, like, maybe the massive mentees, or oh no, you guys are masters, I forgot. The
Yeah.
massive masters wants to create a book, and you all do one chapter in the book.
That would be great. Yeah.
So,
And
so share how that works and how the story goes.
sure. It all started with, again, I'm glad she's on this call because she was the catalyst to get everybody together. And I don't know how far this goes back, but she's been in a few, and they all come from a really unique point of view. One being immigrants in real estate, or McGinna, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, happy to co-host this portion, Liz, with
Sure.
you. So I was invited by the publisher to be one of the immigrants to share her inspiring immigrant story. And because I loved how intentional being in a book with dozens and dozens of women that I had nothing to do with. I didn't find them. We found each other. So here is this network of powerful female immigrants from all over the world sharing our journeys, but it doesn't stop there. We are authors, we are lawyers, investors, multimillionaires, so on and so forth, doctors, engineers. And then there's a volume 2. I'm like, I want to be part of that as well, but I'm bringing my own network into this. So I went and I filled the entire 24 chapters on volume 2, 80% on volume 3, and I was inspired from the powerful female immigrants tactic, so to speak. And I founded Real Women in Real Estate, not necessarily the title. Initially, it was me telling Brooke how she does not qualify to be an immigrant, so we should write a book about women. And she said, about what? I said, women in real estate, just like that. Wire. That's what I wanted. Wire. And then I'm one of the calls with Massive, actually, true story. That's when I met Liz and Janae for the first time. It was the beginning when you guys started this amazing program. And of course, I was so excited because it was going to be the first book. I'm like, and by the way, if you want to hang out in a book with us, we're launching the first volume August 1st. It's going to be amazing. Next thing you know, we have 31 women in that book. Vina Jelly wrote the forward. We got together in Dallas. Brenda was a guest. She's the first one to sign up for the second volume. It's a business card. It's a global business card. It's a way for us to gift a portion of who we are to our investors, prospects, clients, builds credibility. It's not as time consuming for the authors as it is for myself and Brooke because we manage the project. We hire the publisher and we tell him what to do. I have my own ghostwriters for my ladies that don't necessarily want to think too much and they just want to get it out of there. And it's their knowledge, but it's just structured in a way that's more attractive to the reader, and it makes them feel more comfortable showing up in the world as storytellers, not necessarily authors. So we launched volume 2 a couple of weeks ago. We're getting ready for volume 3, and it's only the beginning because, like Richard Wilson says, it's time consuming. It's not the money-making machine. It's in fact the opposite. We lose time, money, and energy, but the outcome, the results from the book itself, you cannot measure. Like, that's what I love about it, because you can be super creative with it, or you can stop at one chapter and have a memory. So the choice is yours. And happy to talk to you, Rodolfo, if you need help, guidance, some ideas. So yeah, thanks. And Liz, feel free to add. Why is it that you joined?
Oh man, well, following in your footsteps in anything you do is always a good move in our book for sure. But just the camaraderie that, meeting all those other women, but now I have something, like you said, to gift to my investors. And so that was wonderful to have this instant gift available. And so that leads me to my next book that I feature on our website. And I need to give it a little more Liz and Barbie flavor because it was generated through ChatGPT, but then I made it a visual, like an ebook document that's really, it's not just text, it's like pictures and colors and things. And then I did add some like discussion questions of my own thoughts, like, have you ever thought about this? And so it's to you know, free content, but just to start a conversation. And so I have the really emotional sort of personal story of with the book, and then with the ebook, it's you know, what I found to be just a quick, really easy to consume facts about passive investing, you know, real quick, that they can learn something and find value in, and then hopefully there's conversation down the road. So two opposite ways to kind of approach it. So yeah, that's, and I hope to do more. And just like have maybe a page on the site that just has free content available, and then all they need to do is sign up to get it, and conversation from there. So hope that helps.
Yeah, no, this is awesome. That's excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it. Anybody else? Blake, what kind of book did you do?
Yeah, mine was much the same as the latter that Liz was talking about, in terms of just a quick sort of a knowledge, you know, what's fund to funds, what's cap rates, just all different kinds of things that I suppose a lot of people that I speak with, they're always like, what are these things? And some of them, I suppose, that I speak with, they're interested to sort of learn it. So I thought, oh well, I may as well just put it into a bit of a book and put it into a little bit of an ebook and send it across. But yeah, I mean, I've said that I made that to other people, and other people were like, that's a crap idea. I'm like, oh, thank you for that. But yeah, just there's something, at least there's something that I have, so that's all that matters.
That's my point though, back to that, is get the first thing done. You know, in the beginning, I even said, like, some of the people, you know, she just had to push or help them through, and how, you know, even get stuff written for them even, and you know, about their story. So
I kidnapped a few in the process, but let's keep this offline. I don't think it was being recorded. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's exactly so, but it's really making those first steps, and getting we talk about these, they're your assets. So your assets that you have to offer to people, as you know, Richard even said in his, like, he losing money on his books, but he's not making money on it, but he's making money on what it does for him. So it's an asset that he uses to build his other business up, or create that traction for his investors, his clients, and everything else. So, you know, use those assets, create those assets, get, you know, a few different things that you can have based, you know. And I think the second one you made, like, you know, look at is, you know, is just what it means of going from a mining background, or Selchuk going from a, you know, what your engineering background, or a gas station owner, or whatever you want to talk about it as. You know, I went from this to this. So just, it doesn't have to be a long book, but, you know, some short stories about you and your journey in the process is also like another little, you know, how and one of the things I've been reading or read on or heard as well a lot from Alex Hormozy, you know, is not telling people what to go do, not telling people, hey, this is how you do it, or I'm going to show you how to do it. It's more of telling people what I did, how I did it, what, you know, was the results of all that, and not really over, you know, boasting necessarily, but being, you know, telling people more, giving more away, because the more you give away, the more people are going to be interested to learn more or hear more from you. And it's not a case of, hey, you give something away and it's going to just stop that they don't want to know more. They always are going to want to know more, right? You can give away everything, you know, that you think you're giving away everything at least, but you still got more that you've never shared because it's impossible for you to give away everything, because you always have more than what's there, right? You cannot write, you cannot talk about everything that you've already learned or done or captured in your life and your experience. So talk more in your books, talk more in your videos you do about your experience, what you did to get to what you've done, how you created the path that you created. So that anything, Suel Selchuk or Jennifer, you got anything?
Well, writing a book idea, I was, obviously I'm reading the Wilson's books as well, trying to finish and get that certified and all that stuff. And then just this idea, just as an immigrant, I'm an immigrant too, so I came to the United States 25 years ago. So, but the thing is, though, as far as the real estate investment goes, these people living in this country, they don't really realize how creative this investment is. Because to do this in the other side of the world is really, really tough. Because the other side of the world, they don't have the financing tool like this we do here. And these people, most of them probably don't travel. Even though travel as a tourist, it's really hard to understand that part of it. Me as an immigrant, I was born and raised over there and moved over here, and I've seen both worlds, right? That will be one of the chapter when I start to write a book to try to explain to people, you guys, these people here in this country have a really, really nice investment tools that you don't realize. So you kind of overlook on that. That would be my idea.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's great. And you can, so when you can, again, like we talked, Selchuk, you just got to, as you get past your point of feeling like you have to have everything completed on your systems, but going ahead and start talking about this piece to people about and you don't have to, you can focus on Turkey, you can just focus on the European area, whatever you want to focus on, right? Because it applies to a large group of people that don't know, that they're here now and don't know about this investment type of opportunity. And you have a connection to them different than other people will, similar to Rodolfo, right? So
yeah, as for example, just interrupt you here there. I was talking to the friend of mine. Well, it's a board of directors in the Turkish American Association. I belong to right now on the board. And I was telling this, opportunity, and he was saying he's an engineer, well-educated engineer and all that stuff. And he says, he said, I thought I have to have a company to invest something like this, he was saying. So this is just a really intellectual, well-educated individual. So basically, this is not about being an educated people, a person, here. So the people don't know. I don't believe so. You guys have a lot of experience, obviously, than us. But most of the people don't know about this, how to invest, stuff like that. So
it's very common. A lot of people still, like, even doesn't matter where they come from, local here, people, think that they have to have an LLC and everything to do these investments. There's a lot of misconceptions out there, and that's part of the whole education process. I mean, just you know, so that's why like simple books, simple strategies, sharing basic things out there just to get people interested in talking is the thing. Rosario or Jennifer, I haven't heard from you in a long time. I don't know if you're able to share or talk a little bit.
Sure. That's been a great conversation, and I think there's different levels, right, of books, and so I've been starting to work on putting together like an outline of like how you know you were talking about that there is like a level of education that people need, right, and so even opening their eyes to the option, and I think that because we network with among each other, we think like kind of like, and we hear all these stories that, you know, it's kind of saturated, but we don't realize how much of, you know, when I talk to people, they're always like, oh wow, really, you're in real estate investing? How, I always wanted to do that, and how do you do that? Like they see it as like something impossible, right? And so to educate them and make it available to them, to me, that's the win. So yeah, I definitely have been working on putting together more of a, I guess what you would call like a lead magnet, right? Like an ebook that
Yeah.
they can download and kind of just share, you know, my own experience, my own journey. And like Grant says, right? As long as you're a few steps ahead of them, you can already teach them, you know, those few steps, and then you keep moving forward and you teach that. And so that's why it goes with what you said earlier too, right? You can never share all of your value, right? Because you will keep growing and that will also keep evolving and you'll have more to share, right? So we all keep growing. I think that that's another thing I love about the real estate community, that we keep growing and there's different strategies and there's different things. So there will always be more to share. So
Yeah.
so yeah, I'm gonna work on that.
Okay, awesome. And how is your CRM coming along?
I've been putting some of the pieces together, so I'm gonna start working on building my campaigns. So I have now my page and just kind of like a way to set up an appointment with me. So kind of the basic. And so now I'm gonna start working on the campaigns to nurture those leads as I meet with them, right? Because a lot of times it's a process, right? They don't right away. I don't even have a deal to talk to them about, but I want to start continue to build that database because I had it, but like you were saying, right? Like sometimes we collect, and then sometimes we don't do the touch points to keep them as warm as we should. So
Yeah. How
that's
many
my
leads do you have in your system? Do you know?
I probably have close to 2,000 people that I know that are in investing.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, because I was working in single family and I was working with a lot of
Right.
investors that, you know, yeah. So and I know that they're investors. Now the question really for them a lot of times is, are they willing to transition to syndications, right? Because some of them are stuck in single family and they want to do single family forever. So, you know, part of that is that. But yeah, no, I do have a lot of leads. I just need to activate them and keep them warm.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I shared, I don't think you were on the call last week, shared with Rosario and the rest of the team, because Rosario was looking at how to, you know, create different opportunities within the CRM. And we showed like we treat all of our leads, all of our people as investors until they tell us not to. So like everybody here is in our CRM as an investor, plus you guys are in as some other things, but you know, even brokers that we talk to, insurance agents, you know, everybody across the board is an investor for us first, and there may be, you know, something else as well. So when you can create your campaigns, you put everybody into your investor pipeline as a primary campaign that you know, you'll be reaching out to, tagging, you know, doing your drip campaigns into sharing your message. Because what we've all found, I believe, is that there are people that become investors with us that we're like, wow, I never expected that person was interested or had the money or was ready to invest or would move away from single family to multifamily or would invest in syndication or whatever it is, because we don't really know what other people think until we, until you engage them and you get them to do something and think about something different.
Mhm.
Most of us, a lot of us were in different mindsets before we moved into this space.
Correct.
So keep that in mind, like everybody is a potential investor and you've got enough people, you should be able to start just some of your drip campaigns and
Mhm.
you can continue funneling into your investor base, but you got, 2,000 people for you to call. If you start calling today and work through, touching every one of them, send them a text or something and make sure they know who you are again and making sure that, they all are, understand what you're doing now.
Mhm. Yeah. Yep, that's the plan. Thank you, Mike.
Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it. And so I'm gonna play one more piece and then we'll be close to wrap up for today.
Strategy number 13 is to build a credibility sourcing board. So it's credibility / sourcing board because in some niches, if you have the right deal, you'll raise the capital very quickly. For some investment bankers, for some real estate developers, if you have the right deal, the capital will flow in and there'll be an auction situation. So in some cases, you want to build an advisory board or board of advisors that is very strong at helping you source deals, and they're incentivized to bring you the best deals first when they're shown a deal. So giving them equity, earned equity, vested equity, or profit incentive. The other thing you can do is build the board to maximize your credibility or access to capital. If you're targeting endowment funds, finding past endowment fund investment professionals or current ones, filling your board with those is definitely going to help you. Maybe you find someone who's running a newsletter or a leading website in the endowment fund space, you add them to your board and give them 3% equity or profit share, etc. The more credible you make your board, then typically the easier it's going to be to raise capital. The trick is to also think about, besides just credibility and helping you get meetings, what else can they functionally do for you and how can you incentivize them to really help and not just be a figurehead on your PowerPoint or your website. But this is a way to really make your team more powerful very quickly versus if you have, let's say, a team and you're trying to hire full-time staff, you might have to pay $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year for some of the people that you can put on your board for some profit equity share. So you can really beef up your board a lot faster than your core team. If you have an operating budget of under $1 million a year, then you can feel pretty constricted in making your team excellent sometimes. Strategy number 14.
Okay. So any thoughts on that one? I know that's so we utilize part of that strategy with massive capital, and if any of you were on the capital raising call today, the Brooke shared about that as well. As okay, one of the investors like, okay, Massive's 2 years old, they've not gone this or that, and she shared about, well, this every part of that was true. They engage with, they have a board of advisors, and those are on our website, people like David Legat and some others, Ash Shah, and I know Schreier met with some of them this week, while he was in Dallas, especially David. So we try to look at, don't just flap up names up there, but talk to people and get them agree, and how do they feel about that. But you want to also be like using them as your part of your trust factor, right, and building your credibility. So you're welcome to use Massive, you're welcome have your others. We we use even a bit of like, hey, I've got mentors. My mentors are, you know, Grant Cardone, Rod Cliff, etc. And, you know, so there's different ways to build what you're comfortable with and who you believe gives you the credibility and gives you also support that you truly need in the process. So any feedback on that?
I can tell my idea. To me, that's one of the maybe the most effective the growth plan, you know, in the business, especially in the real estate, since there's like a lot of opportunities to split, you know, whatever you're earning, you're, you know, gaining. But so you guys doing that as a massive capital, is there like any like a basic, like a generic, like a commission split plan? And obviously it has to be like a custom, but at least to give us some idea, have you guys worked on any kind of like a, what's the split structure you guys make for those, you know, sharing with the, you know, people, you know, as a source or, you know, credibility board members? Make sense?
And not exactly. So like the ones we have are, you know, David and those are people that, there's also another guy, Venkat Avasala and Ash Shah. They're either people Shariah or myself or Sanjay have gotten to know over the years. And they advise us on a regular basis, and they're comfortable with us to share that they advise us. And there's not a fee structure, there's not a payment there. They're not necessarily actually on all of our deals. We probably have one of them on one deal. We're maybe going to be on some other deals with them, but they're above like where we are, and doesn't mean we're doing deals with them. It means they're here to support us on the deals that we do in order to move up the scale.
Okay.
And then related to like the split stuff you were talking, I think goes back to what a session we had maybe 3-4 weeks ago, where we went over the how to split up the share of the team. Now, if we go on board or they come on board, people come on board on a deal and they're, you know, truly part of that deal and earning, you know, a pay or a fee for that, then that works through just the process of that general partner share compensation that we went over and how that's split out.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, guys, we got a few minutes left. Does anyone else have any last minute questions, feedback, thoughts for today? Rosario? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, no, it's just really helpful on how to, you know, how to position ourselves, because I have a few pieces going, but to get them all kind of connected, and I think this will just make each one of us that much better. And then, you know, just the ripple effects of that will just, I'm excited. So
Yeah, definitely. So I would like everybody to think, what is my actions going to be from today? And if everybody could just put one action in the chat of what they're going to do going forward based on today's call, or anything else that you maybe had that's based on towards your increasing your funding process of capital raising, whatever direction that takes you. So just put in the chat one item that's going to be your action for the rest of this week, and that you can focus on to get you to that next piece. And it can be something that was in the call today, or just something else that you had in your process. So
Happy birthday, Mike.
And I thank you all for the birthday wishes. Thanks, Shariah, again. And
No
everybody.
problem. Mike, I think once we hit the 50 number, we should have a in-house ghostwriter and just keep pushing out books for everybody with a twist on it. That'd be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, hey, have a ghostwriter on payroll. Whoever comes in, thank you, gift. There you go. That's a gift. Let's go. Everybody got stories to tell.
Yeah.
Let's identify stories. Yeah, be kind of cool though.
Let's see, what do we, yeah, no, that's awesome. Thanks, Shariah. So book calls instead of just taking names. That's awesome. Create my landing page and finalize. Excellent, Rodolfo. Explore marketing strategies. Rosaria, exploring marketing strategies, not really an action. That's more of a still looking for something to do. But just let's look for some actions, Rosaria. Calling 3 hours per day. So potential lost leads. And get the website and CRM done. Get it done, not going. Get it going. Get it executed, Selchik. Let's get it rolling. Post into LinkedIn. Awesome. To highlight the free ebook. Develop a campaign to touch base with all my database. And Jennifer, I'd push you as well. You need to make it happen and just start doing it. And when we come back next week, let's talk about where we were on our actions. So get the website and CRM done. There you go, Selchik. Filter out top 2, 3 strategies learned in the last 2 capital raise training calls and start building traction. Shirai, you also just got to filter them out, pick 1, pick 2, okay, but just start executing on those as well. So Rosaria, prepare content topics, post on LinkedIn. Okay, Rosaria, there's some fire there, man. Gotcha. Good stuff. Thanks, team. I really appreciate everyone today. And let's keep going. And bring in your investors, bring in the dollars, bring in the funds, and make it fun. Have fun and make it fun. And thanks again for all the best wishes on the birthday. I told him, Schreier, we're gonna have a big party in 4 years for my 30th. You may have missed that, so.
Hey, I'm with you.
Okay.
I think, Mike, we gotta hit your 30th birthday, New York Stock Exchange, the whole thing at the same time.
Yeah. There we go. All right, guys. Have a great one. Thanks a lot, team.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you.